Ronak R. Sambong, and for today's video, I will going to discuss to you my output during my online OJT training. So, I hope that you would listen and you'll get something from it after this video. On this first slide, as you can see, we have here the vicinity map and the site development plan. In vicinity map, you can see the location of our house. So from the basketball court, so we are located on the Santa Lucia Street, Barangay Centro, Aldao, Davao City. So madali lang siyang makita or mapuntahan. And as you can see, this is our house and it is located along the pathway or it is on the edge. And for the site development plan, you will see the property line. So, wala talaga kaming property line since yung lupa namin is wala pang title and rights pa lang. So, I expect na talaga na yung property line is hindi nasusunod. So, that is why. So dito, you will see the ground floor plan and the roof framing plan. Since yung project ko is only a one-story residential building, so ganito lang yung nasa plan ko. Yung ground floor plan, which we have 2 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, bathroom, the comfort room, which has 2. So, meron tayong comfort room itself and the shower or the bathroom. Tapos, meron din tayong laundry area. So, yung sa bedroom namin, okay din naman yung size since according to the National Building Code of the Philippines, na ang bedroom must be on an area of 6 square meter in a minimum. So, since yung dimension ng bedroom namin is 3 meters by 3 meters. So, it is already 9 square meters. So, okay siya for minimum area of a room. So, next, yung roofing namin. So, as you can see sa roofing namin, we don't have any property line since dikit-dikit masyado yung aming bahay with the neighborhood. So, I did is dinikit ko na lang, tsaka I'm going to have a 200 mm thickness of firewall on the rear elevation or on the rear area and also on its right elevation or the right part of the house. So you can see it. So meron tayo dyang, and for the roof truss, I will going to use C purlins, and for the roofing, I will have the rib type roofing, and for the laundry area, I will going to use the polycarbonate roofing. So, magiging transparent din siya. And even dito sa front na for the mini landscape na meron kami, so I will use also a rib type roofing or yung mga color roof. Ganun. Now, meron tayong 4 elevations, which are the front elevation, the rear elevation or the back part of our house, the left elevation, and also the right elevation. So, yung right elevation, yung nakadikit sa aming neighbor. So, yun ang lalagyan ko ng 200 mm thickness for firewall and also yung rear elevation. Pero, I will have to put windows because on this area our comfort room will be located. And on the left elevation, medyo our roof medyo nakalabas siya since pathway din naman. So, it's okay And may maliit na space pa naman sa gilid ng aming bahay. So, ayun. And we have also the elevations, which are the transverse elevation and the longitudinal elevation. So, ito yung within or inside sa ating floor plan, which means that the transverse elevation is the cutting section along x-axis and the longitudinal elevation is the cut section along our y-axis. So, as you can see, transverse elevation, yun makikita mo yung window ng bedroom and the doors of comfort rooms. So, on the longitudinal elevation din naman, you will find the cabinet which is attached on the wall of the comfort room and also nakaharap siya sa laundry area. And you can see the kitchen, the living room window, and the little balcony. I guess it is a small landscape that we may have in front of our house. So ito, the last part of our architectural plan is the schedule for doors and windows. So yan, we have here 4 different types of doors and also 4 windows. So for door 1, it is used for our main door. So we have to provide 1. For door 2, this will be used on our bedroom. So we have to provide 2 pieces of door 2. Door 3 for laundry area. So only 1. And for door 4, panel board. So for comfort room, so we need 2 pieces of it. For the schedule of windows, so we have window 1 will be located on our bedroom, so sliding window yun siya. For window 2 is double sliding window, so on our living room. For the double hang, so meron tayong window 4, so for kitchen to, and for the comfort room, meron naman tayong window 3, which is type of casement type of window. So let's proceed with our structural plan. So start na tayo with our framing plan. So since I already told you about my project, a one-story building, residential, that is why I am going to use a common type or details for our column. As you can see, all of them are C1, assigned as C1, and for the beams is assigned for B1. So they are almost, or they are just the same even when I generated onto the STAAD software, so they are just still the same. So this is the details of our beam 1. Actually, they are both the same. So the size of our beam is 200 by 300, the height is 300, and the base is 200, with the top bars of 2 top bars number 16, diameter steel bars, and 2 bottom bars, 16 diameter of steel bar. So, ganun pa rin yun. I just put it on 2 different types because yung isa is 3.7 meters and yung isa was 2.7 and 2.7. So, there is an in-between column sa length nila. For the column detail and elevation, so ito, our column has a detail of 4 number 20 steel bar, and the size is 200 by 200 mm, cover of 50 mm, and as you can see this one, the height of our column is 3.5 meters. It includes the 0.5 or 500 mm depth of our floor since we are in a flooded area. So I guess kailangan nating ipataas yung ating floor height. So ganun yun. So we have here the foundation plan. Ito, since we know that our column have only one detail, so ganun na rin yun for our foundation. Actually, they have different sizes when I generated them. Kaso lang din, I chose na isahin na lang. It is because the difference between those foundations is just 0.5, 0.8. So, wala talagang nag 1 meter. So, yan. I put them on the same sizes. So, the size of our footing is 0.8 meter. So, tama lang yun. And the height is 3 meter. So, I mean 1 meter only. Okay. So, ayun, square footing lang tayo. And we'll have here the typical exterior wall footing detail and a typical column detail. So, this will be a guide na pwedeng gamitin to those who are a beginner for construction. And we have another construction notes here. So, we need to put this kind of general instructions to give some ideas and knowledge to those who haven't tried to read a plan. So, yan, this could help us, even for me, na I am just a beginner. So, ganon. So, ayan na guys. After na-discuss natin yung floor plan ko, yung architectural at structural, let's proceed with the design. So, before I design, using the STAAD foundation, STAAD software, I first compute the dead loads or the loads that we needed for the design. So, I get this from the National Building Code of the Philippines. So, nandun lahat, kinuha ko lahat ng equivalent nito even for the seismic load. So, ayan, na-check ko na yan lahat, na-input ko na yan lahat. So, before we start our project, we need to know the non-conformity of our structure. So, on this picture, the first one is the property line. So, as you can see, na masyadong dikit-dikit talaga siya. And the second is, there are no setbacks around the corner. So, as you can see, we really have to put setbacks for emergencies and all. So, since ganun na talaga, we cannot move our walls paloob or palabas. So, we'll have to do something about it. Next, non-conformities are the ceiling. Well, it's okay since marami naman din ngayon and I plan to do like that also. Kaso yung mga wirings for electricals nakasabit lang. So, I hope na maayos din ito because this is still safety of our safety and the safety also of our kids. And for doors and windows, actually, the span is fine, but the height of doors, yung iba is 2 meters lang, yung iba na 1.9 lang. We know na, yeah, we are small here in our family, pero according sa building code, it doesn't fit o hindi siya nakaabot sa minimum height na kailangan for doors. And an additional for wiring, so yung sabi ko kanina, the general notes is that electrical wiring shall be through PVC conduit, pipes not smaller than 20 mm diameter, schedule 40. So, ayun na nga. We have to fix properly our wirings for our safety. So, ito na nga. After we computed the loads from what we get on our design and according from the National Building Code of the Philippines, we have to generate or we have to make a report from the generated STAAD software or values that we can generate from the software. So we first have to generate the beams. So like that is the example. So we'll have the load combination, the frame A, intersections 1, 2, frame 1 section AB or frame B section 1, 2. So, next is for our column. So, marami tayong kailangan na uh, uh, input for columns. We have the maximum axial force. We need to know the PU or the load or the load factors, the dead loads, sway and non-sway parts of our column. So this is the example of maximum axial force. So here is the maximum, the 24.201 from beam 12. So ayan, we'll have also the tabulation for the dead load. So this is 17.886. The tabulation for PU, so we have the maximum of 24.201, the same as our maximum axial force. And for sway in columns, so meron tayong maximum and minimum sway. And for tabulation in non-sway in columns, so we still have also maximum and minimum na mga loads. So, since may mga na-generate tayo na values sa ating reports, we may now proceed on the design. So, other task is to make a formula using the Excel. So, ito we have to make a formula for beams, columns, footing foundation, and the serviceability of the beam. So, first is the design of our column. So as you can see, the beam width and beam height is the same as our on our floor plan lately, which has 150 mm and 200 mm consecutively. Our concrete cover is 60 mm, main bar size is 16 mm, and the tie bar size is 10 mm. So, ito makikita mo yung mga moments. So, we may have the left, middle, and the right moments na kailangan natin para makuha natin yung buong result. So, as you can see dito, the result is okay. So, meaning okay siya lahat. And we'll have also the column design. So, marami yung kailangan natin sa column design. So, meron dito yung sa PU, tama, PD, tama pa rin. So, the length is 3,000. So, pwede yung base and height of 200 by 200 mm with a concrete cover of 70 mm. So, dito naman for beam and column connections, so since 3 connections ako dito sa aking design, so we'll have to use this one for Euler buckling loads. So, ito na yung mga pwede natin gamitin later on for the design of our columns. So, meron tayo nitong Euler buckling load. So, ito na. We can get, or we may get now the slender column or yung mga pwedeng mag-sway or mag-non-sway na mga columns natin. And, ito na yung final design. So, tama pa rin yung nasa design natin kanina sa ating floor plan, which is 200 by 200 with 4 20 mm diameter bars with a spacing of 250 mm. So, ayun na. And for our square footing, isolated footing, so ayun na nga, using the reports or the values. So, ito na, we have the load combinations. So, we'll have the PU, M, maximum Y, and the maximum Z moment. So, ayan, we need to have the maximum since na yun na yung susundin natin of all the designs para maging isa lang. So, ito, I know that you all know about the ultimate soil pressure. So, we really need to know about that para malaman natin yung capacity ng ating soil. Kung pwede ba, ganito kabigat na bahay, ganito kalaki na bahay, or kailangan ba na matibay yung ating foundation. Yun. And to help the design, we need to know or solve the dimension by one-way shear, and by the punching shear. So, as a result, yung dimension na nakuha natin is 0.8. So, tama pa rin doon sa na-generate natin from the foundation na software. So, 0.8 by 0.8, which has a thickness of 180 mm. So, with the bottom bars of 3 number 16 mm bars placed with 300 on the center. Same as top bars, ganun pa rin. So, for serviceability, so ito yung ginagamit natin to check if the ano to, if our beam is good for deflection. So, as you can see, your remarks that the deflection is good. So, yeah, nakapasa siya sa ating deflection. So, ito na. For the activity 4, meron tayo ditong WBS or the work breakdown structure. So, this is very much important para malaman natin yung flow na pwede natin gawin every day sa construction. Next is the activity network diagram. So, dito natin makikita yung step-by-step or pagkakasunod-sunod ng task every day or every other days or every other weeks. So, ganon. And the result nito is pwede natin gamitin in the PERT or CPM to compute the critical path of our project. So, I have here four paths according to sa nagawa natin na PERT or CPM. So, the critical path is 51 days. And after natin makuha ang critical path, we will going to input the Gantt chart. So, ayan na, I use an Excel. So, I just follow the network diagram or even the PERT CPM. So, ito yung naging result hanggang matapos within 51 days yung ating one-story na residential building. And lastly, we really need to know how much will be our house or what is the cost estimated for our house. So, ganon. With our house, which has 62 square meters in area, I have to have a money of 1.3 million or 1,316,308 centavos. So, ganun yung kailangan natin kalaking money just for a 62 square meter na bahay according dito sa akin na estimate from the Bill of Quantities or the BOQ. So, it ends. That would be all. I hope that you've learned something from the output of my OJT or online OJT journey within this school year. So, again, my name is Rona P.R. Sambong and thank you for watching. Bye-bye!